welcome to Miles of Music. I'm Bob Miles. I'm here once again with the legendary Tyrone Brown and the Tyrone Brown Trio. Hey, Ty.
How you doing, Bob?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's a pleasure to be back, too.
Yeah, my pleasure. And you're getting younger every time I see you.
Why, thank you. Yeah. Put you on my payroll.
That's right. I want a raise, could I?
In this economy?
And we're here with Randy Sutton, vibus, and Craig McIver, drum and vibus as well. And I should say Randy also plays percussion and drums and so forth. Tell me about your trio here.
Well, actually, all three of the guys are my top choices for musical performances and recordings. And they're on my last CD.
Okay, which is the Tyrone Brown String Ensemble?
Yeah, it's a string ensemble, including this rhythm section.
And that is Moon of the Falling Leaves.
Yes.
And you look cool on here with
thank you.
Sunglasses.
And Moon of the Falling Leaves is a Native American term for autumn.
Oh, it is? And I can see why they got rid of it. I mean, you're going to be all day saying things. So that's really cool. What CD is this for you? Like number 95 or whatever?
No, 130th.
130? I was joking, and really?
130, and it was sponsored by the Pew Foundation.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That was quite an honor.
Right, yeah. Sure is. Sure, well, it's an honor for them.
Yeah, and it was my 10th as a leader.
It was? Okay. And speaking of leader and sideman, you've been a sideman with many, many of the greats.
Yeah, Pat Martino, Rochelle Farrell, and most recently, 19 years with Max Roach.
Wow, wow, up until Max passed away.
Right, yeah.
Right. That's got to be exciting.
It was extremely rich experience.
Yeah, I know you toured the world many times.
Yeah, we did several world tours, actually.
And back in the day, you were Grover's bass player, Grover Washington Jr.
I was with Grover about 5 years before I joined Max.
Wow.
Yeah, that was quite an experience as well.
Yeah, you're a real legend,
Well, thank you.
And Randy, you're a vibist, one of those instruments you don't hear much of these days, right?
Or you wish you heard many of us as there are some instruments.
Right, like guitar, right? Yeah. And you also play with other people outside of Tyrone, right?
Yeah, I work around the Philadelphia area.
Okay.
A number of different groups.
Okay, and we have Randy and Marianne Sutton. Marianne is your wife?
It's my wife.
Okay, and your girlfriend.
And my girlfriend.
Okay. Okay. And how many albums do you have out as a leader yourself?
Well, that really is the one that we've done.
Okay.
That's a project after 24 years of marriage. We're both musicians. We figured we probably should do a CD together. So.
And she's a flautist?
She's a flautist, that's correct.
Okay.
She plays traditional silver flute like the European instrument. She also plays the Native American flute and a bamboo flute called the bansuri, which is a Northern Indian and Nepalese instrument.
Okay, and that's on here?
There's some Native American flute on there.
Okay, yeah. And what is this? This is the Omega Institute?
Yes, that's the sanctuary at the Omega Institute in Rhinebeck.
Okay.
They were very helpful to us, very gracious to us in helping us promote the CD. And actually, one of the songs on there was written at the Omega Institute. We were up there for a week.
Yeah, it's a great place. I've known about it for many years. And we have Craig McIver. And Craig, I looked in, and 1 second you're on drums, and next you're on vibes, and so forth. Right. And this is your CD. And who's on this?
Well, the CD is called Horse of a Different Rhythm. And I have some of Philadelphia's top musicians on there, like John Swana, Ben Schachter, Barry Sames, Jason Shatil, Mike Boone, and I think I got everybody on there.
Yeah.
But they did a wonderful job with that.
Yeah. I have to say, Philadelphia, especially in jazz, has the top players anywhere in the world, don't they?
Yeah, and they're all over the world, too.
They're all over the world.
Everybody knows about Philadelphia musicians.
They sure do.
Sure.
They sure do, yeah. So how did you three find each other?
McIver and I have been playing together for years.
Oh, you have?
Quite a few years, yeah. We met when we were talking about that on the way here. We met when he was about 17.
Ah.
Right. Yeah, I was very young. I was actually maybe a little younger than that.
Yeah, actually, really, yeah. And then some years later, he gave me a ride to New York to do a concert with Max Roach.
Okay.
And I told Max that he was a percussionist. And so Max auditioned him, or at least listened to him, and decided to hire him for his percussion ensemble.
Oh my
Well,
gosh, that's great.
That's not quite how it happened.
Oh, really? You did
Part
take
of
me to
it,
New
part
York,
of it
though,
was right.
Yeah.
But he met, like he said from the beginning. Oh, okay.
Okay.
And Max called me on the phone for a gig. That was my audition, which was a CD called Live at SOB's. That was my audition, the actual recording.
Okay, let's go.
So I was right. You did an audition.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to hear you play, and then we'll come back and finish
Okay.
the argument.
Argument.
Okay, that was great. So I think we solved the argument here. Who's the
Yes.
biggest liar? Tell me about the songs you wrote for these 3 CDs, okay?
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Good.
Craig, how about your song?
It's not. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh, well, my song is based. I did a tribute to McCoy Tyner. One day after a gig, I was bringing my drums home, and bring them in the house, and I always keep my radio on, the jazz station, and McCoy happened to be on there.
Okay.
And I heard this particular line he was playing, and I said, you know what, I hear a composition out of that. So from that, it was a lot of skips and fourths and sixths and stuff like that, and I said, let me see if I can write. I got it in my head to see if I can write a piece up, and that's how it came about coming up with that melody, the McCoy.
That's cool.
But you had also said there was some classical influence too, right?
Well, yeah, it was also, with the line McCoy was playing, I heard a little bit of the beginning of the opera Porgy and Bess, the opening statement.
From McCoy.
Yes,
Okay.
and then I kind of put them both together.
Okay.
And put it in a odd time, 7/8 time feel.
Wow.
And that's how I came up with the melody.
And
basically.
did you write it on vibes or piano?
Yeah, I wrote it on. Actually, I wrote. I can't remember exactly where.
It was late at night.
But yeah. I probably ran over to the marimba and just said, okay, now I hear it, and I wrote it out. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Let me back to it.
And what song did you do, Anna?
The song of mine that we did was called Sunrise.
Okay.
The entire CD is a suite of compositions based on a day's yoga practice, which typically goes from morning to night. That piece is one of the early pieces, Sunrise. It was my impression of something that I experienced when I was a teenager. I used to have a paper route, and I lived in upstate New York on Lake Champlain, and every morning at like 5 in the morning, I would see the sun come up over the Green Mountains in Lake Champlain as I was delivering the paper. So I tried to do what I could to capture that.
Sure. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. It's changed a lot up there, hasn't it? I've been up there,
It
a lot
sure
more
has.
pollution
Yeah,
these days, but still beautiful, still really nice. And Tyrone, and yours?
Actually, you don't have the CD of the tunes that we
That you did
featured.
on here?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they're on that other CD.
Okay, not a problem. I can pull that right up. It's right here.
Right. All right. So the first tune we did was on this CD.
Okay.
And it was the title track. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Moon of the Falling Leaves
Right,
was the
right,
first
right,
tune on
right.
this CD, right?
Okay.
And then the second tune was a tune we called Interruption, which was inspired by this CD, which
Okay.
came from that CD.
Okay,
All
I
right.
think you got flustered from the argument earlier.
Yeah. So we did the title track, my first piece,
Okay.
which was a Moon of the Falling Leaves.
Right.
And then we did Randy's piece. And then we did McIver's piece.
Okay.
And then we finished with, concluded with a piece on this CD called Interruption.
Okay, let's talk about this, and we'll feature this more on the next
show? Okay, great.
And this is the magic within.
Right.
And tell me about it.
I was commissioned by the University of Rochester to compose a collection of pieces that were inspired by this painter, Herbert Gentry.
Okay.
So, and that was my first time doing a recording like that. I studied his paintings, and I just sort of lived with them until I picked up some type of energy or creative energy.
Yeah.
And so each of the pieces was inspired by one of his paintings.
Is he still alive?
No, unfortunately he passed away about 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Really colorful paintings. Yeah.
Very fine artist.
Yeah. Now you've done other collaborations like this. I mean,
Yes. The same school, University of Rochester, also commissioned me to do a recording based on the works of author John A. Williams.
Right.
And that was a similar experience. I had to live with his books and started picking up inspiration from the titles and the themes.
It's quite an
And
education,
the
isn't
characters.
it?
Yes, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
But prior to that, all of my compositions were inspired by personal life experiences and nature and spirituality.
Right.
But these projects is quite a different journey.
Yeah. Let's go and hear a little bit more of the three of you playing your songs. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay, one thing I'm wondering when you're playing with vibraphones, because it's such a soft instrument, do you have to play differently? when you're backing somebody up, Tyrone?
Well, actually, I try to be sensitive to all types of instruments. And yes, in a way, there's something a little different about the vibraphone. That to play a little, lay back a little bit more, perhaps.
Yeah, yeah. I think because it's so acoustic sounding,
Yeah.
it comes out more musical, too. You have to
It
play
does.
true music.
Right.
You can't just play chops, right?
Yeah, and even when the dynamics change from high to low,
Yeah.
you still have to be aware of staying under
Right,
the
right.
vibes.
Right. How about you,
Energy-wise.
Craig, as a drummer, playing with vibes?
Well, I'm a percussionist, so I'm actually play the instruments, like as you know.
Right.
I'm completely sensitive to the instrument.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know, it's hard for me to explain. Okay, I see what your question is. Yeah, it's definitely a difference between playing with a mallet instrument versus playing with a saxophone player.
Right, right,
You know,
right.
you can dig in a lot more,
Yeah, yeah.
or even with a piano. So, you know, when I get a chance to play with Randy or a great mallet player, it's a joy for me because I'm like trying to learn as much as I can. At the same time, I'm like trying to accompany to make the instrument sound better because I'm passionate towards that instrument.
Sure. Yeah, I noticed with you, you're really sensitive with the dynamics. I mean, there's not a lot of drummers who can really take it low in volume and still play with, you know, passion and energy, you know? And
well, that comes from playing the instrument. You know, if you're just a drummer, you just play rhythms, that's all you want to do. That's what you feed your mind on. Who you are, you feed your mind on. And a lot of drummers feel like the louder they play, the more they feel like they're playing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but if the drummer is playing a musical instrument like the vibes or the marimba or the timpani, where you have to actually play dynamics all the time and blend, it crosses over to the drum set.
Right, right.
That's
yeah.
reasoning for it.
And I could have asked you the same question, Randy, because you play drums as well.
Right.
But going from a drummer, I guess you both started as drummers first. Is that correct? Or because
I came through the drums.
Okay. That I heard helps, and you know, I'm a professional musician myself, but never played the drums. The rhythm, I mean, it's rhythm and pitch is what really makes music, and that helps you become a much better player. Am I correct with that? Or?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone should be a drummer.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I've heard that. I mean, you're not just saying that for the first time. I've heard that. Yeah, but people should really take drum lessons. And I had a great guitar teacher in high school that made me clap out the Louis Bellson book, the entire book, just to read rhythms. And I learned a lot just from. I hated it before doing it, you know. But what is the difference between a marimba and a vibraphone? So we can clear that up, or don't you know?
Oh, of course, of course. Okay. Two things mostly. One is the vibraphone has metal bars. The marimba has wooden bars. And the vibraphone has the pulsators in the resonator tubes, the part that hangs down below the instrument that gives it the vibrato effect.
Okay, and that's why it's called vibraphone.
That's why it's
and
called
marimbas
vibraphone.
don't have that, right?
The marimbas have the resonator tubes, but they don't have the pulsators in them.
Okay, and you're not lying to me on this one.
Right. And the range of the marimba is considerably larger, too, isn't it? At least one octave.
Most marimbas are larger than most vibraphones. That's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. I would think people would play marimbas more because it's easier to carry around than vibraphone, right?
Well, it's certainly the instrument when you're in college. It's the instrument you're made
Forced
to
to
play.
play, right.
But in terms of getting out on gigs, you're very rare you'll see a marimba.
Okay, let's see. as always, it was an honor to have you on time.
Oh, my pleasure, Bob. Thanks for asking us again.
Anytime, anytime. Now let's do a little promotion. Your websites and contact information for everybody. You are.
Oh, mine would be Tyrone.w.brown@verizon.net.
Okay, okay. My mom's name was Dot, by the way. And Randy?
Well, my website is www.randysutton.com.
Okay.
His last name is spelled S-U-T-I-N.
Okay.
My email address is randy@randysutton.com, so
Okay,
it kind of
great.
keeps it straightforward.
Yeah.
And Craig?
I gave you my email, so
Okay.
my web would be Dreambox Media.
Okay.
www.dreamboxmedia.com/Tyrone Brown @HTM.
Okay, and that'll be in the credits. And Craig,
Right.
email?
Well, mine is sort of the same thing, dreamboxmedia.com.
Right.
You can type in my name and everything will sort of come up.
Great.
And unfortunately,
Gotta
I
wrap
don't
up.
have a website.
That's
just
okay.
yet.
We'll catch it. Thank you, gentlemen.